Hi everyone, I'm Film Club reporter Dorothy and welcome to day 3 of Film Club Live.
Hello everyone, I'm Claire from the schools team here at Film Club, and today we're very excited to welcome Col Needham into the studio. He is the founder and CEO of IMDb, the website. Hi Col.
Hello, and thank you.
Now remember, we are live this afternoon, so if you do want to get in touch and ask any questions, you can do. All the details of how you can get in touch should be scrolling along the bottom of the screen as we speak.
And before we just get started, let's have a shout out to all the schools we know are watching, including Oldham Secondary School in Hertfordshire.
Hello. We also want to say hello to anybody who is watching via the Guardian website, because we know we're streaming live with them today as well. Now, Col, we know that you came in last year and you spoke to us, and we sort of chatted about how you started and how and why you started IMDb, what it is, and your favourite films. So today we're going to look at how you can use IMDb. So if you've got the internet up whilst you're watching Club Leaders, you can bring the page up as well. Some things to do with sort of industry tools on the site, and also how you can create a profile as well.
Okay.
So what we'd like to know is what does IMDb stand for, and can you tell us a little bit about the website?
Right. Okay, so IMDb stands for Internet Movie Database, and we have information on every film, every TV show ever made, from the 1890s through to things that are just in production today. All of the background information that you could want about them: trailers, photos, reviews, trivia, plot, soundtracks, anything you can think of about any show.
And can you explain a bit more about some of the special features we can take a look at to learn a bit more about the film industry?
Right. Yes, of course. So one of the things that's very which is one of the things that's kind of like threaded throughout the whole of the IMDb website is the rich information. Right. So you can find out how the film was made. We have links that go off to other websites that can tell you about, you know, certain aspects of the film being produced. We have technical information all about kind of like what cameras were used. You can read biographies, and there's all kinds of like trivia about how the films were actually made. And then if you want to get a start in writing, we have a wonderful feature where people can write reviews of films that they've seen and share them with people throughout the world.
Okay, yeah. So Film Club reviewers, if you're writing reviews in your club, you can also upload these to the IMDb website as well, which would be fantastic for you. There's a facility to do that as well, to upload them, is that right?
Yep.
We've got a question from Twitter, a chap called CJ, who wants to ask, it's a really good question if you're watching. Hi CJ. He wants, it's your opinion, what is the best film that has never won an Oscar?
That has never won an Oscar.
So a film that you think should have won an Oscar.
An Oscar in any category? Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm completely stumped. Well done. Yeah, because I think thinking of films that off the top of my head, they all won something or other somewhere. So to try and come up with one that hasn't won an Oscar. Well done for catching me out.
Okay, well we had a look at the top 250 films as rated by the IMDb users. We've picked out 3 that we're going to have a look at some clips of today. So first of all, we've got Pan's Labyrinth. Then we've got 2001: A Space Odyssey and Shawshank Redemption. So we've got the posters up here, up to our right. First of all, we're going to have a look at a clip from Pan's Labyrinth, which is apparently 113 on the top 250 list.
Con la tiza, trazaréis el contorno de una puerta en cualquier parte de vuestra habitación. Una vez abierta la puerta, iniciad el reloj de arena. Dejaos guiar por las hadas. No comáis ni bebáis nada durante vuestra estancia. Y aseguraos de volver antes de que caiga el último grano de arena.
that was a great clip. What do you think makes this film so popular with film clubbers?
I think it's the mysterious world that the film takes you into, and I know some trivia about this film if you're interested in hearing it. Yeah,
always.
So as you know, it's a Spanish language film, and the studio were desperate for the director to make it in English and offered to give him double the budget. But he said no, he wanted to keep it true to the roots of the story, make it in Spanish, and so he had less money to spend.
Right.
He actually had to give up his own salary to work on it, so he didn't receive any payment for working on the film at all, to keep it in that kind of mystical Spanish world.
Wow. Well, before we go to learn about profiles that you can set up on IMDb, we've had a question in from Landau Fort Film Club. So hello Landau Fort, and they want to know, how was IMDb started?
Okay. Hi Landau Fort. So IMDb comes from my love of film from when I was a teenager, and I was seeing so many films I was losing track of which ones I'd seen and which ones I hadn't. So I created a little database, and I used to type in the film credits myself. So you never know where your kind of crazy little hobby might lead.
So we'd always like to know more a bit about IMDb. So we'd like to know how we can create our own profiles and what we can do with them. Can you fill us in?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So it's very easy to create a profile on IMDb. There's over on the upper right-hand side. There's an option to register.
Right.
You can click there, and you can either register directly with IMDb, or you can use Facebook or a Google account. And then once you're registered, first of all, the easiest thing you can do is you can vote for your favourite films.
Okay.
And all of your votes are then shown on the individual film pages.
Just as you're talking, there should be a screen grab up on the screen, viewers, for you to see an IMDb profile page. Sorry, Paul.
Okay, yeah, no, that's great. So you can vote there, and that all goes into the top 250 as well. So you influence where all of these films are in the top 250. You can write reviews of films and TV shows that you've seen, and you can share them with people throughout the world. You can post on our message boards, and if you spot any interesting trivia or some data that's missing from the site, you can send it into our editors, and you can contribute to the data that's on IMDb.
Okay, we actually had a question in from Twitter, Mary from Twitter, just might be a good one for you to pull up. She says, why are there songs and artists listed for film soundtracks but not TV? Is that right? Or do you have the film soundtracks for
No, we
TV?
do have soundtracks for TV, but because all of the information comes from users of IMDb throughout the world, if we're missing the songs for a particular TV episode, then that's because nobody has sent them in.
Nobody sent them in.
So you should register and
So
send us...
Send them in, Mary.
And we've talked about this before. Obviously, film clubbers write brilliant reviews of films, and I know obviously they can also post their reviews to the IMDb website. How important are the reviews on the site?
Oh, very, very important. I mean, these days there are so many things that people have the opportunity to see. So being able to hear other opinions on what the film is like or what the TV show is like is very important. And one of the things about our review feature is that you can sort the reviews so that you can find reviews by people of your age or in your country, and different characteristics like that. So you don't have to stick with reviews that were written perhaps for somebody else.
Okay, and what, in your opinion, what makes a good review? What advice could you give to the club members out there writing reviews now?
So first of all, keep it short and to the point.
Short and sweet, yeah.
Don't spoil the plot.
Yeah, no spoilers. We don't like those.
But give enough information that will intrigue people to watch it, and kind of like perhaps find something that you've seen in the film that other people haven't noticed, and highlight that in your review.
Okay.
Right, so some good tips for you guys. We've talked about how to make a profile, but what do you think the benefits are?
Okay, so the benefits of the profile are that you get to share all of the information with there are 160 million users of IMDb every single month. So if you write a review, it's literally going out to the whole world for people to see.
So if you've got budding journalists out there, you should get on the site and do it.
In fact, I do know some professional film journalists who started by writing reviews on IMDb, and they use those as an example of their work when they got their first job.
Fantastic. Well, we're now going to have a look at the second film, which was on our list of 250, and this is from 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Hello, Hal, do you read me? Do you read me, Hal?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Dave, although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move.
I wouldn't like that.
Well, this film was made in 1968. Why do you think it's still so popular now?
I think it was the quality of the special effects in that film could really show the audience what was possible, and so you almost felt like you were on that journey through space space with the crew. And there's an interesting bit of trivia about this.
Let's hear it.
Of course. So made in 1968, it was the last film that featured people on the moon that was released before we actually went to the moon in 1969.
Wow. Okay. Well, actually, we've got a great question again from Landau Fort. Hello, Landau Fort.
Hello.
Again. And they asked, what's the most important film for students to watch now?
The most? Well, hello, Landau Fort again. So I'm going to cheat and say the most important film for students to watch now would be The Shawshank Redemption, which is the #1 film in the IMDb Top 250.
And I went on IMDb the other day and I did a couple of quizzes. So could you tell us a bit about the quizzes film clubbers can play when they go onto IMDb?
Yes, of course, yeah. So we have over 2 million titles in IMDb and over 4 million names. And we've got the ability to create a quiz for every single person and for every single name.
Wow.
So if you have a favourite film or a favourite actor or actress or director, you go to their page, and over on the right-hand side there's a link, and you can take the quiz for that person and see how well you score against other people who've been taking quizzes. I've got over 900 on my favourite, the quiz for my favourite director, Alfred Hitchcock.
Well, I've also made a list of my favourite films on IMDb, and I see anyone can do this too, so get online. Which films would be on your favourite film list?
All right, well, my all-time favourite film is Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, so he's my favourite director. That's from 1958. My #2 film is Inception. From 2010. And my #3 film is North by Northwest from 59. And how far would you like me to go? My #4?
Maybe your top 3.
OK, top 3 then. We'll stick to that.
We've got a question from Aldenham Film Club. Hello, Aldenham. And I think that this is a great question. They wanted to know, when did you know you could give up your day job, and how could you define success?
Hello, Aldenham. So the point at which I knew I could give up my day job was when we got our first advertising booking from a film studio. And this was in the summer of 1996, and it was for Independence Day. the Will Smith movie with the aliens. And so when we got the check for that advertising, that was kind of like, okay, this could work as a business. And so I quit my day job and I've been running IMDb full-time ever since.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're going to have a look now at, as we say, it's the top film voted for on IMDb. Is that right?
Yes,
Shawshank
that's
Redemption.
right. Yeah, number
one.
one.
We're going to have a look at a clip now from Shawshank Redemption.
Are you going to eat that?
Hadn't planned on it.
Do you mind? Yeah, that's nice and ripe. Jake says thank you. Fell out of his nest over by the plate shop. I'm gonna look after him until he's big enough to fly.
Okay. So what do you make of this film, and are you surprised it's number one?
So I love the film personally. It's one of the films that I voted 10 out of 10 out of, 10 out of 10 for myself. The interesting thing about this film is that it was not a success at the cinema when it was released in 1994. And it even, per the question earlier, it got some Oscar nominations as well. But even being nominated for Oscars didn't help. It wasn't until it made it to home video that people really started to watch it. And I think one of the things is because people discover it rather than being told that it's a great film. When they discover it, they go, "Wow, this really is a good film."
Share it with their friends. Yeah. Okay, we had a question on Twitter, which was from Sybil. Hi, Sybil, if you're watching. They wanted to know, are we going to be able to watch films through IMDb in the future?
Right, you can already do that today, but not so much directly on the IMDb website, but we have links out to other places online where you can see films.
Okay, great.
What are your plans for IMDb's future, and what do you do day to day on the site now?
Right. Okay. So future. Let me tell you about something that we've just launched a little while ago.
Yeah.
And this is a feature called X-Ray for Movies. Okay, and it runs on a tablet device. So if you're watching a film on say like a Kindle Fire, or if you're watching a film via Wii U in the USA. When somebody walks into the scene and you think, where do I know this person from before, you can tap the screen and up will pop the headshots of everybody that's in the current scene.
That's brilliant.
And then if you then go, now where do I know them? And you just tap again and it will bring up their IMDb biography, what they're known for, and other films of theirs that you can watch as well.
That's brilliant. I'd like to have a go. So when's that being launched?
That is available in the UK already.
And what's it called again, sorry?
X-Ray for Movies.
X-Ray for Movies, so we should all have a go on that as well. Well, Col, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us today. It's been fantastic speaking to you. Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed coming in and seeing us.
I have indeed. Thank you very much.
So, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed hearing from Col Needham. Please join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. We will be interviewing Zimbo and Dylan Duffus from the brilliant new documentary 1 Mile Away. Bye!
Yeah, should be an absolutely brilliant watch, but if you can't catch tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, you can always go onto the Film Club website and you can search for the webcast at a later date as well, so you can watch it in your clubs, perhaps if you're screening the film as well. One other thing to note before you go is to have a look on our competitions pages. We've got a load of competitions you can get involved in, namely our All-Stars competition and our Instagram competition, where you need to take a snapshot of your club in action and send it in to us. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.